We I would wish us to start with a word of prayer. Father, in the name of Jesus, we are so grateful. You have given us another chance this morning to have an interaction with your people, to remind your people about abundance mindset. We glorify your name. We get these systems into your hands, our computers, our laptops, our phones, our viewers, and those who are going to view in the future. Father, may they be able to appreciate and be able to practice and see abundance in their life. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Thank you so much. Now, abundance mindset. I want to start with Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him. And I'm also told that Islam teaches that God's treasures are limitless. Even if we are asked for what we want to do, we are told the treasures that God he has. And that is according to the Islam community. So it doesn't matter which religion you go to. What matters is that there is limitless. Abundance mindset is about there is enough for Peter, there is enough for Stella, there is enough for Joseph, there is enough for everybody in this world. And we are told your thoughts create your reality. What you do in the morning, what you tell yourself in the morning, I'm going to have a great day. Today, I prayed for this day. I prayed for Peter. I prayed for Stella. I prayed for Joseph. I prayed that we could have a breakthrough in our life. Therefore, your thoughts make your reality. If you want to change your life, then change your thoughts, because the thoughts go into action and action brings reality. I remember I lost a job in 2006. I was retrenched. I had come from leave. I was away on leave for two weeks. I had taken a certain circle loan. Then I went back to work and I was told I don't have work. And at that particular point, I felt that was the end of the world. I had given that company all my all. I had started from a level of a salesman. I was by then a manager, key account manager, and then brand management. And I was feeling the world has come to an end. But I remember myself asking, does it mean that this is the only organization in the world? Are there other organizations out there? Can I do something else? And I would want to say it had come to a point where I thought, because that is the organization that made me have my first air ticket to go to Mombasa. Unapanda ndege. It is the same organization that gave me the first car. Then they gave me a brand new car. I remember it was a Chef Avio. So I was saying now, it was the first company that made me sleep in a 5-star hotel. I was asking myself, am I ever going to drive again? Am I ever going to fly again? Am I ever going to stay in a 5-star? Are my people going to be ever fed again? Are my boys going to go to school again? But I want to tell you for a fact, I have flown, I've driven a car after that, and my children have gone to school after that. It is just have the abundance mindset that when one door closes, another door opens. Tony Robbins tells us, when you are grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears. So today, this morning, start by being grateful. That is the first thing I would wish us to take away. Being grateful, because fear disappears, you have abundance. Did you know that when it comes to abundance, gratitude is everything? Starting by, this morning I was reminding myself, and I have what I call my journal here. I was telling myself, there is I have health of body, I have health of mind, I have a roof over my head. Yeah, even if I'm renting or have my own house, it doesn't matter, but there is a roof over my head. Yesterday I ate, and today, as we say in the Lord's Prayer, God give us our daily bread. And it may not be necessarily bread like bread ile ya kukula. It could be an idea, Peter. It could be an idea, Stella, that God is going to deposit in this webinar in you this morning, that is going to propel you for another 5 years. And I remember That time when I lost my job, I went to one of my mentors. And you know what he told me? I want you to do a 10-year plan of your life. And I want you to look at your life not only in terms of wealth creation or employment. I want you to look at your life in 5 dimensions. And that's what I'm going to encourage all of us here. Number one, spirituality. What is your relationship between you and God? It doesn't matter where, because even if you are an Asian, there is a way they do religion. If you are a Muslim, there is a way they do religion. But what is your spirituality in the next 10 years? Number two, he told me, look at your emotional dimension. By emotional, he meant, what is it that you are reading? This morning, I was reading a book called, I have it here, Project 50. It was written by Tom Peters. It is about one of the gurus in management, about how to make your projects wow. Anything that you do it with a difference. So what is it that you are depositing? That is the emotional dimension. The third thing that my mentor told me is physical dimension. Take care of your body, because this body fuels you. This body pushes you. This morning I had to do my jumping jacks for 30 minutes. I had to do my press-ups for 30 minutes. Propel your body. And then the other area, the other dimension is what you call social dimension. What is the relationship between you and those around you? Your family, your community. What are you doing to the community? And finally, of course, the wealth creation. What is it that you are doing to create wealth? So he told me, look at your life. And he told me, can you do it? You can imagine, you are coming from a point where you have no work and somebody is telling you, do a 10-year plan. And I want to tell you that has helped me in many ways along the way. So start with an element of gratitude. We are told the energy of gratitude is the energy of already having. It is as if you already have it. Reality comes to you because you are choosing to tell God or Allah or the world, I already have it. I'm going to have it. Today, you got a deal you want to go and do somewhere. Today, you have a business you want to go to do somewhere. Today, you have maybe a client's work to deliver, and you're already saying, I'm going to deliver it. Even if probably my report is late, I know I'm going to do it. You are coming from a point of abundance. I remember during Corona, the first breakdown, I wrote a book. That book is already on Amazon.com. It is called How to Live Daily in Gratitude. Because I remember the lockdown found us, we are now in the house. We have nothing to do. I started jotting on my journal, on my book, And I remember one time somebody asking me, do you want to write a book? And I did write a book. And that book now is on Amazon.com. How to Live Daily in Gratitude and the Secrets of Success. And I want you to go there and look for it. Buy it. If you can't, buy it for a friend. But I want to tell you, come from a point of abundance. 3 days ago, on Tuesday evening, I remember listening to Awake Fellowship of one of the business icons who have passed on, Dr. Chris Kirubi. I was privileged to work for that man for about 6 years. I was privileged to work for him as a manager. And as people, because it was the organizations and the CEOs of the companies he has run who were in that particular Awake Fellowship. And they were trying to relate on how the lifestyle and the mannerism and the leadership of that man used to be like. And I remember listening to one of his friends called Dr. Joe Ajui, who we all know, the former chancellor of the University of Nairobi. And he was a very close friend of our third president, Mwai Kibaki. And Joe Ajui was saying, from the time he knew Chris Kirubi in the 1960s, he has always been a dreamer. He has always been a man who believes there is more. And I remember on the many occasions he came for meetings in the company where I was working, because I was in the sales department. And he used to love to come and talk to us every 3 months. He would tell us, you guys go and conquer the market. And he was against multinationals, the Unilever of this world. He was against Cadbury's of this world. But he was saying, go and conquer the world against Nivea. So if Chris Kirubi the late came from a point of abundance, in fact, we are told during this time of this Corona time, he did a deal. One of his CEOs, Dr. Moria, who is the CEO of Centum, was saying he did a deal of 20 billion over the Corona period because he sold some of his companies back to their owners. That is abundance mentality, seeing enough even when people are seeing nothing around. So the energy of gratitude is the energy of already having it. The third thing I want us to take away from this webinar is see yourself living in abundance and you will attract it. Start manifesting abundance in your life. Start seeing yourself as a person you already want to be. I know we have shared with some of you here. I know we have shared in Stella at a certain forum. We have shared with Lillian. I know Peter, we are sharing on your vision. But I would wish you to start visualizing, journaling, create a journal. I've already told you I have mine here. And I have created a journal for the last 7 years. Every morning I tell God, this is what I want you to do with me in my life. I know I'm going to succeed. Even as I was preparing for this webinar, I was saying there will be people who will come and I know they will change me. I'll learn from them and they're also going to learn from me. The point I'm saying is one day, I remember in a company I was working for, the Kenya Institute of Management. I was a teacher. I was approached and I was told, we want you to come and train our managers. Now remember, I'm going to train my boss, my bosses. 32 of them. They were put somewhere in South Sea. And I was told, you need to come and talk to them about customer service. That is abundance mentality. You can imagine you are going to train your bosses. And I was paid for that training. In fact, one of the managers who later on moved to Daystar University, she was reminding me the other day, do you remember you trained me for a whole half a day on customer service and marketing? Because the institution had come to a point whereby they felt they had reached a growth where we call the maturity, and they want to again give another boost to the business. And therefore, they needed somebody to speak to them about better customer service and also about marketing and how to do brand management. When you have abundance mentality, you are going to train your bosses. In fact, I remember I also trained one of my former doctors who taught me in my PhD class called Dr. I wouldn't like to mention his name because he's known. I trained to him. I remember I got into a training room. I had been invited to come and train on marketing communication in Machakos, in a hotel called Galani. So as I was getting into the room, I started my work. 30 minutes down the line, I saw a gentleman walking. I look at the gentleman. Where have I seen this gentleman? And then I remembered, oh, this was my doctor who taught me. He taught me marketing management at the university. Now I'm training him. And he sat down for a whole day. And not alone, in fact, he came to me and said, yes, Nyutu, I remember you. I remember your presentations. And what you are going to do, I have, he was also a parent at Alliance High School. We have a PTA where I'm a member, and we are organizing for a team building event for our children, plus the parents, plus the teachers. I want you to come and be the person who is going to speak to them and be our team building coach. Another gig from my former doctor. So the point is, with abundance mentality, you are going to see things happening around you. The number 4 thing I want you to take away is build a new abundance model away from this model of paid by the end of the month. Majority of us are used to a model where we get paid every end of the month. I would wish you to start thinking of how you can be paid every day. I've been trying to help a lady who is in Canada. She is coming up with a business plan because she wants to start a certain project here. So she told me, help me to create a business through another forum where we met. This forum where Peter we meet. Now, what is intriguing is that those people are paid on every 2 weeks. And I'm told, I think even in the US, every 2 weeks, you get your pay. I want us to take our mindset from the 2 months or 2 weeks or every end of the month pay and think that every day I can get paid. And I want to say this. There's a young gentleman, I remember we started giving some work to construct at one point. I don't want to call his real name, but I remember he came here walking. That young man came here walking. After 2 years, we had another place we wanted constructed. He came here, he was riding a motorbike. Today, that gentleman has bought land, he has constructed, and he has a fleet of vehicles that he uses for Uber. I saw him walk. I later on saw him on a bicycle. In fact, he was in a mountain bike. And this is, he started as Jamaa Mkono, KYM. He later on became like a site manager. Now he is a contractor. What I'm trying to say is that you can, and we used to pay them on daily basis. Fundi analipangwa 1,000, mtu wa mkono 500. Saa ingine siku hizi wameniambia amefikishiwa 1,200. But from that, he has able to create wealth. So you can disabuse yourself from this fact that I must be working or getting my money every 30 days. For those who are getting every 30 days, well and good. It's an opportunity for you to create, but also you can also take your mind away from that. Number 5 item that I want us to take away from this is that you'll get all you want in life when you help other people to get what they want in life. I know we have worked with Stella on a project. I know we have worked with Lillian on a project. I know we are on a project with Peter. I know we have worked with many others. When you help other people, Marketing Africa, where Peter we have met, I have written for Marketing Africa for the last 13 years. I have written. I give it every 2 months, I give. Every 2 months, I give my information, whatever I have. And from that, I have seen other things coming out of it. Because when I attend those events where we go for networking, I have had opportunity to meet serious people in this country. And those people, we have done many other businesses together. So start from, for you to have an abundance mindset, start from a point of giving out, making other people better. In fact, listen and give advice, but also don't go in asking what is in it for me. Recently, I was privileged to moderate Marketing Society, One Pulse, and an event also sponsored by Diageo. You go in and give yourself, and from there, I know many other things are coming out that are going to be, propel me. So first of all, ensure, remember, make a deposit in other people. Make a deposit in other people, and you are like making a deposit in your abundance bank. Because we are also told by the good book, the hand that giveth also receiveth. And remember, when you give, you are sure going to get it back. In fact, we are told, pressed down, shaken, and overflowing. Number 6 item that I want us to take away is acknowledge the good that you already have in your life as a foundation for abundance mindset. Start by appreciating the little that you have. Do you have a good, healthy body? You have not gone to the hospital for the last 1 year. That is something to thank God for. You have been able to pay your rent for this month. There is water in the house. There is electricity in the house. There is electricity in your office. There is food on the table you ate yesterday or the day before yesterday. Small items that you have a family, start appreciating those small things, because that creates an abundance mindset in yourself. Number 7, your words, your language hold power. What you tell yourself, the words that come from your mouth. This morning we have a webinar. We are giving encouraging and positive words to each other. We are oozing positive energy to each other. That is very, very important. When you say, I love my job, I remember one time I worked for an Asian company. And most of the guys we used to work together, we used to be paid very little money. I'm not saying Asian companies pay little, but this particular one was really paying us very little money. And tulikuwa watu wengine walikuwa nasema hiyo kazi ya muhindi. Hiyo kazi ya muhindi mimi nitaiacha. So there's no ownership. But I'm sure you have also found organizations, and I saw some of you guys have worked with multinationals. I know some of you guys have worked with leading NGOs in this world. You find when you work for that organization, you are saying, my organization, my company, and you are not a shareholder. That tells you that employee loves their job. Even when you are running your own gig, you are saying, my consultancy firm. You know, and when you say, I love my job, I love my clients, I love you guys because you are my webinar viewers and listeners. Any person who I love you, I love my team, I love the life I have created and I'm going to create. Your language. Let's watch our language because our language is very powerful. The Indians, the Hindu Gita, that book the Indians read, normally says that in terms of Abada's mindset, I'm ready to receive a miracle today, something that completely changes my life in a positive way. I'm open to receive it. I'm receiving it and I deserve to receive it. That is the Hindu Gita. So it doesn't matter the faith. It doesn't matter Islam, religion, Christianity. It doesn't matter whether it is the Hindus. All of us want an abundance mindset and availability in our life. 5 strategies to develop an abundance mindset. 5 strategies to develop an abundance mindset. Number 1, self-love. Start by loving yourself. Nobody is perfect. Forgive yourself. Release your thoughts of guilt, shame, loneliness. Accept the emotions you have. Give yourself grace and kujipenda. I would like us to write in the chat line, I love myself. I want to say that. Can you write in our chat line, I love myself? And I will start by, I love myself. I love myself. Najipenda. For those ones who are Kiswahili, like myself. I love myself. Yeah, because nobody else is ever going to tell you that. You love yourself. Yeah, I can see already. Yeah, Lillian, I love myself. Thank you so much. Peter, I love yourself. I love myself. Yeah. Stella, I love myself. You start by saying and proclaiming it. Yesterday, I was supposed to go and see one of our sons in school. And I completely forgot. So in the evening, somebody reminded me about it. And I was like, I was feeling guilty because I had made a commitment to the teacher I'm going to see because there was something we were doing. But then I said, we are human. I forgot. I had not diarized it. So I was looking at my diary. It was not among that, but I had been spoken to him the previous day. So I forgave myself. I have to forgive. If I don't, then of course today I'm going to do what I ought to have done yesterday. So start by loving by yourself. Second strategy is contribute. No one ever became poor by giving. By giving me your time this morning to come and listen, to come and learn, and we engage each other, you are not going to be poor. In fact, you are going to start your day on a better footing, on a positive footing. The second thing is about contribution. Studies have shown that those people who give to others are more happier, they are more endured, they have more social connections, they are more grateful, and even they have more business opportunities. So start from the point of giving. In fact, from church, for those ones who are members of church, remember you're supposed to give your 10%. That's a law. You give to orphans, you give to widowers, you give to the less privileged, and it comes back in a very big way. So contribute. Number 3, the third strategy to be able to have an abundance mindset is retreat. Sometimes it is good to have a retreat, time with yourself, what you call me time. I have done it like every other 3 months. In fact, this morning I was reviewing and I thought that this year I have not had a time of retreat alone for 2 days. to rethink, to see where you are going, to look at a way of bouncing back. And I know we have shared with some of you guys the journey you are going through on a personal level. And it is a point where you say, I need to make a backtrack and think, where am I going? Every week on Sunday, before you start the week, you can have like 1 hour. Write down what you want the week to have. Because again, you have said your words have power. Your language has power. So it is good to have me time. The number 3 strategy of abundance mindset is priming yourself. Priming. Priming means you start each day with a positive note, positive thought, a grateful heart. Prime, prepare, priming, we are told, study has shown, like in the 1970s, a study was shown that priming is when your brain calls onto the unconscious connections in response to a stimulus, what you are calling primes. So when you speak positive things to your mind in the morning, I'm going to have a wonderful day. I'm going to have a successful day. My client is going to be happy. My client is going to give me a referral to another business. My boss, we are having a positive relationship with your boss, my boss. When you speak positivity to yourself, you are preparing your mind. You are priming your mind for the day ahead. And we are told what we are exposed to changes our behavior ultimately. You may never know what you deposit in your mind on an everyday basis. That's why you are told, watch your friends. Watch the 5 people you are relate with, because very, very soon, you are going to become those 5 people. Very, very soon. Good. And then the 5th, okay, how do you prime yourself? How do you prime yourself? Number 1, you can watch your favorite comedy or favorite show. Number 2, listen to positive things that uplift you. That's another way of priming yourself. Number 4, serve silence, time alone. Time alone. There's something they call forest therapy. Anywhere there are trees, if you see like a small bush and you are traveling up country, so long as it is safe, you can, and you have a car, you can park and get in and move in. You know, that renews your mind. It gives you a boost. Number 4 strategy of abundance mindset, radical acceptance. Radical. Accept yourself the way you are. Every experience, whether it is positive or negative, is actually a learning point. It teaches you and me. When you fail in a job, when you fail in a business, that opportunity, or Kevin, I think there's some, Kevin, you could be able to mute.
Yes.
I think there's some, you can mute. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are saying that radical acceptance, acknowledge reality, stop fighting reality. Of course, we are saying you must continue believing and dreaming, but sometimes we may note that situations are working against you and there's a situation that you cannot change. Maybe as a boss, you can't change. Accept that reality, because when you stop fighting, then you start growing. Number 5 strategy of abundance mindset, notice. Notice the environment around you. Try to ensure that you notice the people around you. Keep an eye out for new things. In fact, there's something we call sound walk. Sound walk. You just walk silent and you are listening to the environment. What is around you? What is around the environment? So kindly ensure that, take a sound walk. Learn to watch people who are around you. Keep your eyes out for patterns. You know, you can see people changing. And when you see people changing negatively, yesterday, somebody emailed me. It's somebody I've been talking to, and he wants us to get into a business engagement. And I had to consult. I called several people and asking them, is it the best way forward? Because it's a good business, but then I also want to be cautious. So one person told me, I don't find anything wrong, and somebody who I really value. So I'm saying, when you notice, you can see some things that are going to be beneficial to you. And the last strategy I would wish you, okay, in terms of noticing, you can also do what you call give yourself out to people. Give yourself out to people and ensure that you are on. So I want to share 5 tactics on creating abundance mindset. Number 1, or 5 traits of people who have abundance mindset. People who think big versus people who think small. Those people who think big have abundance. They know there's more than enough. There's everything for everybody. Number 2, plenty. People who think plenty. There is enough for everybody. Number 3, people who are happy versus resentment. Keep happy, keep happy. Number 4, embrace change. Don't fear change. Change brings new things. Change brings better things for you. Change brings growth. And number 5, people who are proactive. Don't wait there to be. In fact, somebody used to say there are 3 people in life. They are drivers. They make things happen. They are passengers, like the way you see in a vehicle, like a matatu or a bus. Passengers watch as things happen. And of course, there is what you call baggage. They just wonder what happened. Say, hey, we have a new boss. Hey, the offices are being changed. You are not aware of the environment. And finally, people, for you, another tactic of developing abundance mindset is learning, growth. I want to tell you for a fact, Stella, Lillian, Kevin, and even Madeline, by investing your morning here, you have an abundance mindset. There is growth. As I come to a conclusion, I would wish maybe to allow Stella just to make a comment. Maybe anybody, Stella, Lillian, and then we can be able to conclude. Stella.
Thank you, Joe, for this session this morning. I'm glad I joined. And of course, I have learned a lot. Then there are some things you have mentioned that I'm already doing, but there are some other things that you have mentioned that I also need to start working on and thinking about. But I really like your idea about how your subconscious connects with your reality, and the fact that when you tell yourself positive things, when you think positive things, then you are already creating an environment of abundance and happiness and good things. So thank you, and I'm glad I joined.
Wow, thank you so much, Stella. Lillian. Lillian. Great. As I come to the end, remember we have
sorry,
okay,
Joe,
Lillian.
I'm sorry, I'm actually driving, so I was trying to get the buttons to unmute, but yes. I appreciate what you're saying. And it's a lot. It's good to learn that, yes, we need to be positive in our thinking. And I also like the idea where you say sometimes you need to go out there and even give like a voluntary service. Yes. You don't always have to be doing what pays. Yes. That's how you get noticed, and yeah, it benefits both you and the people you're serving.
Wow, thank you, Lillian, and safe driving. Model, would you like to make a comment?
Good morning, everyone. Like Lillian, I'm also driving. Wow. And my apologies, I joined a bit late, but I was able to really have a take home in areas of where you talked about loving yourself, and also appreciating yourself
Yes.
for who you are. Because
Yes.
sometimes I realize when we don't do that, then we tend to judge ourselves harshly, which is not
Yes.
good.
Yes.
And then when you have small failures, you really handle yourself not in a nice way.
Yes.
And then the other thing you talked about, me time, because I think
Wow.
those are things. The me time is something which I've really taken big, because I don't do it. I find myself so busy running up and down.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm really encouraged this morning, and I thank you so much for the session, and I'm happy that I joined.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. We love you, Nessa. Now, as I come to the conclusion, remember to subscribe to our channel. We are on YouTube, Nyutu. And finally, today, expect something to happen good to you. No matter what occurred yesterday, realize that the past no longer matters. Kindly have an abundance mentality, an abundance mindset. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord do good to you. I want us to leave it there, and we are going to join another day. God bless you so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys.